want to finish up here, and I'm going to let the paint dry, and then I'll hop on YouTube so I can watch the live stream
All
on
good.
my laptop.
Just so you know. All right. I need to see that we are alive on the other thing, so I'm gonna have to. I don't know how we check that here. Is anybody on the YouTube? What's this thing? See where Sunny is. She has taken her headphones with her. This will not help us. Are we live?
You didn't say good evening yet, did you?
No, I haven't said good evening yet.
Okay.
Where is your?
Okay, yes, we're live.
Okay, can you hear us?
Yes.
All right, great. All right, well, I guess it's time for us to say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the weekly WAYPN.
What's going on? All right.
I'm Karl,
And I'm Sunny.
aka
Henry and Sangeeta.
So Sunny's going to be taking over a bit more. So, we're starting off with Iskander.
Yes, so he says... I think I have the wrong one for some reason.
I don't know why.
I also do not know why.
He says this.
He says, painted a little bit this morning before I had to stop and cook. And I thought it was really nice. Like, with the grisaille or slap chop technique, it often looks a bit too harsh when you apply the colors on top of it. But I think maybe he's just using it as a map and he just does regular base over top. I think
it depends on the area.
Yeah, because I take a look at the other fella. The green is so nicely transitioned. You don't see that sort of harsh, super dark spots and then super bright spots like you do with contrast pass over slap chop technique. So it's really well done.
Well, we'll be a bit faster with his ones because in like 3 more posts he's finished. So next up we've got Larry.
Right, Larry. We have a little bit of shading, dry brush crimson on top of the crimson, different shade on the banners, then the carpet going to the sarcophagus. Added the same to the girl's bikini top and shoes, then made her socks old-fashioned tube socks. Have to clean it up a bit. Then I was about to do a gray base coat on the lizard's lab coat, but decided to see how it looks with some Templar White Express paint. Not bad to start, I think. Just need to decide how to go from there. Yeah, so he hasn't added any contrast to the white lab coat yet, it seems.
I think that's the speed paint version of.
Yeah, so I think I remember that Larry was asking on the Discord.
You want to say hello to our people?
Oh, yes, of course. Hello, Jack and Kit. Of course, Kit is here. And Elle is here as well. Welcome. So, Larry did ask us on the Discord if it was a faux pas to leave things zenithal primed if it were white. And it is not.
I don't think so. Like a lot of the whites that I do, I'll zenithal and then I'll just do one final highlight of white.
Yeah.
And that'll be it.
Yeah, and when you say highlight with what, you do the brush.
Like the brush.
With the brush, you don't do it with the airbrush. You do add the white with the airbrush, but then you do like a nice clean white.
Yeah, for like edges or.
Yeah. So I mean that's what airbrushes are for, right? It's to improve a particular look with speed. So if you can achieve it without having to add more paint, so be it. So I think it's looking really good.
Yeah, so it's the Vallejo version of.
Yeah, I think it's looking really great. Yeah, and those banners are looking quite realistic with the shadowing that he's applied. So I think that's looking nice. My only question is, because he is trying to go for the OSL effect, I do see some candles that are near some banners. Is he going to be doing any airbrush to get some lighting effects on it? And we said hello to everyone. Yes, we've said hello to everyone. So that's my only question on the banners.
Yeah, I think maybe that will come up later.
Yeah. And then
Let's oh, you wanted
I
to
think
look
there
at...
was the girl.
Yeah, there's the girl, and she still has the world's strongest calf muscles.
Yeah.
Um,
So may have to be blended out a little bit more there. But yeah, so I see what he meant by the tube socks. I thought he was gonna go for like the classic witch striped socks, or maybe this is just the beginning of the stripes. I don't know.
No, he did say classic tube socks.
Okay, sure.
All right, shall we move on to the next?
On to the next.
So next up, we've got we'll take a look at this one, but then we'll just move on to the next, because do you just want to read out his thing?
Almost finished, but I need a break. Yeah, I mean, look at how well that's come out, especially the hair. I think
very cell shaded, but
yeah.
we'll move on from this one because almost instantly after we have the finished product.
All right. I really enjoyed painting this one, except when painting Goku's outfit. Those are AK's 3rd gen. Then they are a bit too thin for my liking. Well, I mean, despite that, you know, you made it work really well. It's nice and smooth. You've definitely captured the anime look very well.
I would say so. Like very strong cell shaded vibes.
Yeah.
Like it he's a bit smoother for anime. You know, but like when I say he, I mean this creature, whatever he is. But like everything else, I feel like is very sort of anime style.
I do like that he even added a little bit of a red bruised cheek there.
Yeah, from where he hit him.
Yeah. So I think you've done very well there.
I think it's great. I think it's also a very characterful bust.
It is. I mean,
I shouldn't call it a bust.
What
a
is
diorama.
It? Yeah, like a diorama. Oh, now I see what that is. The little yellow thing at the back. It's like the lines that you see in the manga when you go like pow.
Oh.
Like that, you know. So it's like to give that sort of motion to the piece, and he's made that in yellow.
I think that's what what it sits on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so sorry, Iskander, I'm not gonna comment as much on this stream just because I'm stuffed.
Yeah. But I think
but I'll just say that I think like the cell shading is definitely your best strength.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of him do it. This sort of work. So okay. Shall we move on?
Alright, sure. Do you want to talk about anything that you think you can improve?
Not really.
Alright.
I don't think so.
So next up, we've got more Larry.
Worked on the water. The box art showed green and water mixed blue. Wasn't sure how to do it, but I'm only trying to do something similar rather than a direct copy. Thinned field gray, paint glazing medium, roughly 2:1 medium to paint, and glazed over the water areas, some of which I had previously sketched in some blue. More work ahead, but I think I ended up closer than I originally thought. Also added some gray to the under areas of the coat that were just black primer and painted the tongue. Probably will add some water effects of some kind inside the manhole cover, but undecided as yet what I'll do.
I think this water, like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying that the water will be dependent on the other elements, because here's his reference, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why the water stands out here is because essentially everything else is done up, and I think once everything else is done up with him,
Yeah.
I think it'll look...
Because I'm taking a look, and it's a pretty close match to what it is in the box art. And I think the only difference is that with the box art, they did push a lot of that white foam splashing effect. So if he wants, he could try doing that a little bit more. But like, I mean, sewer water is not like very pristine. So
Mm.
I think this look is good, color choice wise. But I think if you just added a bit more of the white around the edges, it might actually come good a bit more. It feels a bit more dynamic. It works. It works even if it is just like this. But yeah, I think that's all we can say for this current whip.
All right. So next up we have it's Member Monday. I'm actually.
Let's skip it for this time around since you've got.
Do you want to read it?
I can read it if you like. Okay. It's Member Monday! Hashtag Member Monday. More like Member Month Day, am I right? Okay, I'll admit that is terrible. So, for the past month or so, I haven't been as active. We have been trying to get a massive commission done, but there has been a lot of life interrupting. But I want to get to the sermon, as I am sure all of you out of print productions will remember how it goes. What makes a digital place? No, seriously. Let's think of for a second. Sure, a terms of service might mean something, but if people everywhere break the rules on the platform, like say some of the paid ads has popcorn in them, obviously they don't matter. Okay, so if a service can have pictures and so on, that matters, but what is shown is what matters. In short, it's you. You are what makes a digital place. Each and every one of you. There are people who rarely post but always like. There are people who post their newly finished tabletop paint jobs. There are who show endless works in progress, whips, until they ultimately finish their grand creation. There are people who show paints and recipes. There are all sorts of people here, and you are what makes this place great. A place where I was able to take a back seat for a while, and it kept driving without all of you being the friendly and welcoming people you are. And I wouldn't have been able to do that. So join me in welcoming the people who have joined our little community. I have been a little lax. Let us welcome the new peoples.
Yeah. Which they didn't let me tag, but having hardcore porn in ads, that's fine.
Yeah. I have to say, Facebook absolute champion at letting us connect our members with their names and not some random sponsored page I know nothing about. Ha ha ha. Well, with all of that done, I, on behalf of WAYPN, have one question. What are you painting now? Make a post about it, get some love.
So, I wonder if that came off as a stream of consciousness. The answer is yes.
Yes.
All right. Shall we move on to Liam?
We shall move on to Mr. Liam. My work in progress on an Eyes of the Deep mini from start to current status. It needs quite a bit of work still, but it's definitely quite a transformation.
Yeah, so we see this one done up a lot further, and I think this is a good example of seeing how like a project starts out compared to the finish, because I think we got the finish up here somewhere. Okay, why you like this thing? Why? Oh, I have to say I love Facebook as a company. They're just the best. Who wouldn't love Facebook?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but a lot further on, we see he's even drawing in the eye and stuff. And I'd say at that stage, it's looking pretty decent, because here it's looking a bit messy.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, are we stopping here?
Yeah.
But you have to go through an ugly phase.
Mm-hmm.
So let us move on to
Calvinoni from Dungeons and Lasers Caves Kickstarter, some creatures and props.
So I think it's mostly the same sort of thing that we always say.
I think the props came out better than the beast, though.
Yeah,
they feel a bit more clean. They feel a bit more identifiable, even though the color scheme is kind of similar to one another. But there is effort put into the texture of things. But I think the beasts themselves, as per usual, the usual Calvinoni issue comes up of two
monotone.
Two similar values as well.
Yeah.
And I think, don't be afraid to have different pops of accent colors. I think if you want to have a stylistic choice of going for a very natural look, it's sort of very watercolor and blended look, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think there has to be some form of contrast, or else it just doesn't do a model justice when you can't really tell what's what.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, shall we go on to our next one?
Yeah, there we go. We've got Larry.
And he's done just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Did he do the white
yes,
like you wanted?
He's done the white like I wanted. Had a little time last night for some more painting, so I added some white to the green glaze and did the edges, followed up with a thin water texture to finish up. Might need to touch up tonight. We'll see how it looks.
Yeah, no, it all looks good.
Do you see like where the water texture was added, like the difference?
The water texture is the white.
Oh, is that it? Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't really look like a difference in the texture or anything.
No, I'd say it just looks pretty much like it's just painted.
Yeah, like if you use regular white paint, just go and I don't know. Oh.
Shall we move on from this web?
Yep.
All right.
I have another one from Andy.
Who's painting the same one as Larry?
Larry, yes, correct. And he also has, but he's doing the tube socks, like.
No.
Or was Larry the one who said he was doing tubes?
He's doing tube socks.
Yeah, so he's doing tube socks also. Spending part of my bank holiday Monday, finishing off a couple of pieces. Calling these done, at least for now, and pleased with how they've turned out. So, Larry, take a look at what Andy's doing here with his skin work. So you can still see the definition of the muscles, but it's not so harsh, like the darks of it. It's not so harsh that you sort of, looks, she's got more bones than meat kind of thing. Now that's not to say this is a very fit young lady, she is. And you can see even in this model how sort of defined her knee area is, but definitely a lot more softer with the way that Andy's done it. So maybe the shadow color that you've used, you might want to lighten it a little bit. And I think it's coming along quite nicely. The bikini top is looking a bit glossy though, so we'll see how things end up. I think with the model of this scale as well, Andy, I think you can try pushing yourself with Maybelline hair technique this time.
Well, no, he's counting this one as done.
Oh, he's counting it down, eh? Why is my thing not scrolling anymore, honey?
I do not know.
I am stucketh, guys. Looks like I'm just gonna have to follow Henry's lead here. Yeah, I know. The jeans came out well. The Dracula's coming out well. I think
he's counting this one as done as well.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I think it does look great. I'm not sure if it's the lighting of it, because she does look very washed out. So it's a bit hard to appreciate whether or not you've added more reds into her outfit to really make it pop, right?
I think down the bottom it's much more apparent, but not as much up here. See if you can scroll
now it's working.
Yeah. I'd follow Sunny's same thing, like,
so you want
like
the
brighter brights,
yeah,
darker darks.
I think next time when it comes to taking pictures as well, Andy, you might want to consider a ring light, or if the light that you currently have in your photo booth is movable, if you are able to bring it to the front of the model rather than from the top of the model, it will be easier for us to take a look at the how the colors play out, and you might want to reduce the brightness as well.
All right, shall we move on?
Yeah, we've got Larry once more.
All right.
Nettles. Painted a base of black, stippled on different colors of rust and metals from light to dark, with a final dry brush of brass. Should probably work on the letters again, but I'm out of time tonight. Letters. Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's
I
on
see
this
that.
one, so take a look here.
Yeah, I do see that. I do see what you mean.
Hmm.
Well, Larry, if you would like to try like our true metallic metal technique that we do with the scale 75s that you have, you might be keen to try pushing the highlights with the text up to white alchemy if you have it. Doing light mapping as you would, just following the natural placement of light by the light source that you're using. I think the sewer cover came out, or the manhole cover. The manhole cover came out great.
Yeah,
It looks
I'd agree.
like real, sort of like cast iron
Hmm,
manhole cover.
It does look like a manhole cover, yeah.
Yeah, I think it you're just going from strength to strength with this piece. I just think that you might want to, just as a point of pushing your skills to the next level, if you might want to try true metallic metals for the text. Alright.
I think that is a good area to push, and we've got it's time for Kit and Decimus to shine. Oh, if you're getting that thing.
And hey, look, we can actually count how
There
many
is
retro thrusters there are.
A
We can count how many retro thrusters there are.
to
The
this.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oi.
Yes, I was right. 16.
Yeah. It's got a voice clip that you're speaking over the whole time.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I
Terrible.
can't hear that.
You could look at how it's got text on the screen.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
You don't listen to things, do you? You just want to decide your own things. All right, we'll start again. Oh, if you're getting that thing, there is a lot to this kit, and we have assembled quite a bit already. So, yeah. Oh, if you're... Okay, so, let's say hello to Rumble.
Hello, Rumble. So the video was quite soft, but we played it again.
Yeah.
So maybe that not this time.
Or it might be giving you a hard time. So, I think...
Oh, no, he's saying, quiet video, Henry. I can't hear what Sonny's saying. Yeah. So I was right. 16 retro thrusters.
There you go. So, yeah, maybe we should just go to the next one because we don't actually have
this is
photos
just an
for a
update.
while. But what I might do is I might find where we've done the update, because I have an unfortunate feeling that I don't think I'm gonna make it through this one.
Okay.
But yeah, so if you're on the Discord, feel free to come on and have a harassment, because this
Tell
is us,
tell us what you
and
think.
yeah, tell us what you think of how it looks. So you guys want to give your feedback? Oh, it left. It is not there.
Oh, maybe he had things to do.
It's only the Decimus. Are you with us, Decimus?
Yes.
You want to give us some feedback on the big boy?
The non-metallic metal on the cockpit looks awesome.
Thank you. I was hoping for harassment. Do you think you've got any of that in you?
It looks like shit.
All right. Thanks. All right, now I can. Now I can.
Now you're satisfied.
Now I can walk away.
Yeah.
Do you wanna swap PCs? Because I'm really not doing well, unfortunately.
All right, but how will we do the? Yeah, I'm reading, showing.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna have to give you my headphones, and I'm gonna have to book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, right. Guess it's time for the Sunny Show.
I'm sorry, guys.
Don't be upset, folks. It's because Henry has the sore throat. Sorry.
Well, not just that. Migraine.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. And like, there's only so much you can put up with.
Yeah. I'm just gonna take a very short time to just bring up your chats on my computer, everyone, so that I can still see what you're doing. Kit say my internet was buggy, so I dropped off the Discord when I went to make coffee. L, hopefully he can get some tea with honey. Feel better, mate. Yeah, L, unfortunately Henry does not follow my advice when it comes to tea and honey. He's not a tea person, but he did take a cough medicine earlier, so hopefully that does help. So we are now up to Iskandar once again. This is going to take some time. Can't stare at this for too long or I'll get cross-eyed. Probably because of how bright it is. But I do think this is turning out quite well. I am a little confused about what's going on here in the Bum Bum area, but we will leave that for clarifications at a later point in time. But I think he's done an excellent job with the patterning here. I bet this is all freehand, so well done on that. And that's really nice. The shading on the face as well. I have not watched Dragon Ball Z, so I can't comment too much about the characters, but this does look correct based on what I have seen of it so far, like, snippets here and there of the Dragon Ball Z style. Right. Jack says, I use Flashpoint whiskey for some sort. Yeah, you're just like Decimus. Decimus has a tea recommendation with a little bit of whiskey added into it. Isn't that right, Decimus?
Yep, hot tea with a little bit of honey and a shot of whiskey.
Right. Yeah, I bet that's very nice, like soothing in the like a warm sort of way. But
yeah, that was my medicine growing up.
Yeah. I can't believe you had whiskey given to you as a kid, but yeah, it is what it is. I think he's doing really well. The yellow shading is excellent. It keeps and retains the sort of vibrant punchiness of the yellow. I think you're doing really well. In terms of feedback, I think I'll hold off until we see further progress on it. So now we are going to move on to Mr. Kit. I'm going to open that up a bit. We interrupt this whip wetness day for a quick product test. I wanted some gloss black primer, and since I am always on the hunt for the best acrylic primers, decided to test out Galeri's new Kaleido Colorworks stuff. To qualify for free shipping, and because I have a bit of a paint buying problem, I went ahead and picked up the primary color and metal color sets as well. It all arrived this morning, so I immediately took it downstairs for a quick test. I can't speak to durability, but as for the sprayability, so far I am rather impressed. Everything was sprayed straight from the bottle using my 0.2 times equipped Infinity at around 18 psi. It all sprayed problem-free. It's too early to say the primer will unseat one shot as my current favorite acrylic primer, but so far things look promising, and I like that they are available in 210ml bottles instead of just 60ml bottles like one shot. So yeah, this is pretty good. So okay, I'm just gonna go here because these were the pictures that we were meant to be looking at. I forgot to go here. So we've got more from Kit. So Kit, this is the one little guy. See if we can even zoom in any further. Yeah, it looks about right. I think you might want to take a closer picture of this, like we said, Kit. Like, if you want to try and show like how things work a little bit more, I would suggest taking a look at Larry's post, because he's very good at showing off like how things work with different new products and things like that. So a little bit more close up might be helpful there. Ellie, Kaleido Colorworks sounds like a smash hit. Ain't nothing in the rule book says kids can't drink. Rambo, you're causing troubles once again. Right, okay. So we will move on to our next post. Who do we have here? It is Jack. I had an intrusive thought. Can Tyranids have albinism? We shall see how this crapshoot goes. Well, I think that is actually pretty interesting, because, like, I'm not sure we've ever seen an albino Tyranid yet. And I think they would look pretty friggin' scary. Because you're just... Okay, so here's my thought. Let's take a look at this. I can't pull up the pictures because I'm too afraid to pull up pictures on Henry's computer. But there is this model that I saw on Pinterest showing how they did like a fair skin, like an elf, and she's got white hair and very fair skin. And how they shaded her skin was using like lilacs. Oh no, I think that's how they shaded her hair, her white hair. Using lilacs going into white. So I think you've got yourself a great opportunity here, Jack, to try out different sort of white shading techniques. So that's the special thing I think about white, is that if you start with a colored shadow going up to white, it creates like different tones of white, right? Like say you start with a blue to white, that's like a very cold bright white, or like a cream to white, and then you've got like the sort of off-white creamy look. So I think you're going the right direction here when it comes to the albino scheme. I would suggest, you know, going as far as applying some purple, light purple washes here and there to really bring out some of the features without taking away the sort of very ultra fair color skin or carapace color there. I think this is a great opportunity to experiment. So yeah, let's see what Rumble say. You'll be fine, just don't open it. Labeled Thunderhawk. Yeah. Let's see if we've got any other pictures here. Yeah, that's quite cool. Like you just have the one off guy, the little runt of the litter kind of fella. Quite fun. Oh, this is looking very nice. Very nice. This looks very much like the Dungeons and Lasers stone castle moss. We did it very much like the way that you've done it here. It looks almost exactly the same, actually. Yeah. Yep. So Jack, that's my thought. Like, give a try. Like, different wash colors to get like different tones of white kind of scheme. Right. Let's move on to Kit. Hashtag Whip Wetness Day. I don't usually bother with attempting non-metallic metal, but decided to play around with the Chimera Velvet Gold Leaf set. And the gold, and the cold gold example mixes to try and achieve a very tarnished look for the scepter and sickle. My initial inclination was to just hit it with a bronze or copper metallic and then slather on some verdigris effect paint. Oh, well, I think it's definitely looking... Let's see if we've got any other views of the... Yeah, unfortunately, Kit, because it's so out of focus, it's very difficult to give feedback on this one. So we'll see if you've got another post coming up. But based off what I can see, it does look pretty similar to the example here that you've given. So I think you're going in the right direction. I wonder what this velvet line is supposed to do. Like, what is the difference compared to all the other paint lines that they have? I'm a bit curious to know on that myself. So close that tab, go back to the big boy. Right. Ah! Edith Tundy Hawk. We will see what Cal says. It's Whip Wednesday, hashtag Whip Wednesday. I have really enjoyed and been terrified of painting up this bad boy, but assembling has been a different story. I debated not showing this one because obviously there are things we need to fix at this stage, but this is part of the process. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a nightmare now that we've actually finished painting all the parts. Like, you guys can see right there how big of a gap that is putting the cockpit in, the canopy, but we shaved off a little bit of extra bit there. Not sits correctly, but you know, resin cast minis are really very hard to work with. The velvets are concentrated inks and they are pretty amazing. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so yeah, there was a lot of gaps after we tried to sort of put things together. They won't fit after we painted them and needed to assemble them, and we've put in like a Vallejo putty along here, along sides, wherever it needed to be gap filled, and I'm currently working on touch-ups to fix whatever paint that's been chipped away. Painting, even though we've used the SMS paints to airbrush everything, that stuff is tough, okay? I would be rubbing at it on regular minis, and that stuff doesn't really come off. But I think with resin, there's like some sort of the way that it dries, the top layer is just a little bit glossy or something. I'm not sure what it is. Like, even after you wash it with soapy water, it still doesn't really stick very well. Next time around, we're thinking lesson learned is to use etching primer and then do that on top, because when I sanded off the top layer of some parts, and because if you guys remember, every single part of this beast is mislabeled on the sprue. And I had to write in permanent marker on the sprue base the correct number to pair it with the instructions. And when I sanded down the sprue and then went over with like alcohol wipes, no, I didn't do that unless I wrote the wrong number. And then I sanded it down, and then I wrote on top with the permanent ink. It just sit there very nicely, absorbed right into the product. But of course, with something as detailed as this, we can't be sanding this beast. You know what I mean? So I think an etching primer would be the best. But anyhow, Decimus, do you have any commentary for us at this point in the progress, or would you like to say your thoughts at a later point in time?
I don't really think I have anything more to add.
Okay, well, we'll just go a bit further. Currently, I'm just sort of doing touch-ups and certain edge highlightings where I didn't have before. But, aha! We've got Stack $2 Cooper. I got a big whip at the moment, 30 Guardians base coated, and as we always say, guys, this is all what WAYPN is about. It's all about the progress, the in-between moments, and you know, this may not look very exciting, but when you're doing an army and you've got it to this stage, you feel like you're 50% of the way there. And when you feel like you're 50% of the way through a project, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And when you're able to see where you're headed, it just feels that much more motivating to keep going. Of course, going and finishing off 30 guys is going to be very tiring, I know, but you're taking the steps towards it, and you're getting there. So take your time, and I think we're all excited to see how this turns out. Hey.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to do like 30 minis at once.
Well, it does depend on what
That's
level.
a lot.
As well. Yeah, it is a lot. I don't know, like, you know, there's so many ways that you could do a speed painting, you know, and I don't mean like contrast, right? There's lots of different techniques. Like, you could do like a majority airbrush piece or something, but either way, I think we often tend to get carried away with the details, don't we? And then we're just like tired by the time we get to model number 3. But looks like we've got more. Getting close now. But it is really something when you see it all put together. But you can see that now, can't you, Decimus? Like, you see that that's sitting in there a little bit better. Less of a gap.
Oh yeah, the cockpit hatch.
Yeah, the cockpit hatch is not as like a huge gap anymore. We managed to get it to sit properly after we shaved off a bit at some point. Like, apparently a bit of sprue still was on there. We needed to shave it off a little bit more. Thankfully, it's sort of working a bit more now. Yeah, like,
I can see that.
do you have any sort of commentary in terms of, like, is there anything you particularly like about the way we done this piece, or is there something that you wish that we would have approached differently when you're looking at this?
Well, since you guys are better painters than me, I don't really have anything that I can look at right now on the screen to say to improve.
I understand that, but like, it's
The
more
non-metallic metals on the cut patch and the what's the word English?
English.
I hate English. The gradients of the blue on the majority of the ship.
Yeah, that turned out.
Yeah, those look pretty good.
Is it, conceptually, is there something that you think that we could have added to make it more like in theme or lore, or it doesn't necessarily have to be like the painting techniques itself. It could be something you wish we added or missed out on.
With what I know of Ultramarines, it seems pretty spot on.
Yeah. What I do like after we actually did the complete assembly is that the red of the las cannon matches up nicely with the red of the casing on the turbo laser, and then goes back up here. So it has that nice sort of accent V. So it turned out really nice. I think that was a bit unintentional, but like visual hierarchy wise, I think that was something that I noticed. Pretty good. But I'm very happy.
Like back wing look like a little like blah blah blah.
Words. A bit tilted. Yeah, we noticed that when we were trying to assemble it, and it fit in correctly in the slot, so it's not installed in a warped way. I think the piece itself must have been a bit warped, so we're considering getting the heat gun out and trying to heat that up and try to push it back into alignment. So for this, we ended up using the MIG Instant Dry Super Glue. Our local hobby shop manager recommended it for resin pieces because we had a lot of trouble getting the super glue, regular old super glue, to work. It kept popping off, and like that one really worked very well, but it was so runny, and it also, it's instant dry, as the bottle says. You don't have a lot of time to work with it as well, and you can imagine how stressful it is to try and install something like this, and you've got warped parts. You don't know what parts it's going to fit nicely or not, and then sometimes it fits well when you dry fit it. Oh, it was a bit of a nightmare when we were installing the missiles on the underside of the wing. I had a bit of a heart attack moment at one point. Rumble has things.
I imagine, because I'm pretty sure resin isn't that light.
Yeah, I think it's the material. Like, for some reason, it just does not contact properly. Like, there's some sort of like, it has a bit of a glossiness. It doesn't stick well. Resin costs many. I have that same issue with metal models as well. But yeah, once we switched to the instant dry, it worked really well. All right. So what are the people saying? Speaking from inexperience. Oh wait, sorry. He can see the longer, super tiny tunnel at the end of the tunnel. Yep, I know what you're saying. Speaking from inexperience, I can imagine if you're making a bunch of the same thing, double digits isn't bad. Most I've ever worked on at once is 3 minis. Yeah, it just because it gets so repetitive, it gets very tiring after a while. Even if it's very simple, like with the yeah,
The
because like
special Space Marine chapters, like the Space Wolves that have leather straps and rune pendants all over the place.
oh gosh, yeah, do that 30 times. And then L says like and then sorry, Rumble says I like that the Thunderhawk is red. Add more Blood Angels insignia. Still got over 40 Termagants to paint. Right, okay. Let's move along to the next piece. Aha! We have Iskandar. Cell versus Gohan. Now, I particularly really loved the way that he has shaded the black. I mean, look at this. Look at the way that he's done the cell shading here with that medium gray and then that light gray, but it's only in those very specific spots. I think it's so incredibly clean. It came out really great. I don't know if he did like pin washing in the face muscles or what, but that definition is amazing. And take a look at this. Okay, now I just need to understand what material this is that he's working with. This is absolutely fabulous. So this is trying to show that sort of like super fast movement that you see in the mangas, right? Or the animes, and that like nice fade from the yellow to the purple. I'm just not 100% sure if yellow rocks was the best option. I think I think if you went for like regular old tan earth, desert earth type of look, it would read a bit better. At first I thought it was quite interesting because it looked almost like some sort of a holographic crystalline material. But I'm looking at it from a different angle, and I think it's just like concrete or earth that he's like pounded into, and he's jumping out of the way as quickly as possible. That would be my only critique. But everything else is pristine. I mean, look at that flat black. Oh, beautifully done. And also the way he's done
I will say the black does look good.
yeah, and I think the way that he's done the yellow of the hair, it almost looks like it's glowing. You know, when you go Super Saiyan, whatever, it has that sort of effect, and that's quite. There's any other angles? Nah, yeah, it's just because he's facing downwards. Yeah, that's my only critique. What do you think, Decimus? Is there anything else you might find a bit odd or out of place?
I'll agree with you about the broken cement and kind of help separate it from the yellow lines of Gohan jumping up.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, now we see
yeah, that's
the
my only critique.
yeah. I think that would be it. Because, like, this, whatever color that he uses to fade up into the purple, it's got to match the same as the ground, right? Which I totally understand. I'm just not very sure about the yellow color for the ground. He's probably following some, like, the cartoon or something. I think, anyway.
That's Dragon Age. I'm a Dragon Age Dragon Ball.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to our next piece. We have the Naughty Naughties by RJ. Finally finished this commission piece, having a hell of a time getting decent pictures. On to the next commission. Of course, RJ's always working on something new. Now, when he posted this in the Discord, someone did mention that the pose is very odd, and I think it's because that the way that they've proportioned things, they wanted her to have like these massive honking thighs, right? And you see that her arm is so short and thin compared to this mass of a leg here. So I'm thinking that's why it looks a little bit odd, But that is kind of the aesthetic of this particular pinup piece. But yeah, last time we were very impressed with the way that RJ actually painted up this sort of lacy lingerie on the inside. It's very interesting. My only critique this whole time was this inner sort of bodice underwear thing going on. It looks like she's got like two underwear stacked on top of
Yeah, I
each
see it
other.
now.
So that was the only thing that was sort of throwing me off that whole time. I think if he just continued the boning line, the boning of the bodice all the way down, and then it looks like, I don't know, this pink bustier is tucked underneath the G string or whatever. I don't know how physics would work on that front, but I think that would make it feel less awkward, because I think this also makes it feel like her hips sit much higher than they actually are, that's where her hip bone is. So it shrinks the body, the torso. But that's how the illusion looks from the way that he's decided to do that bit. But other than that, I think this is extremely well done. I think one of the best parts of this, the strongest points of this piece, is also the hair. We will take a look at the hair look at that Maybelline effect. Oh, wow. Absolutely beautiful. I think the black of the stockings was also done very well. I think he done such a great sort of like line hatching shading on the top, just to give that sort of sheen that you get with stockings. But yeah, what do you think, Decimus? Is there anything here that you would like to share?
Like the fur effects on the ears.
Yeah, that was very well executed. It really looks like real fur. Really, really obsessed with the way he done the hair. Oh my gosh. I think that's some of the best part of this model. But yeah, everything looks realistic. You've got the eggs on the bottom. I am a bit curious to know why he's decided to do green in the cracks. I'm sure there's some in-lore reason for that. I don't know. I think for me personally, I'm gonna just done like a gray. But it's definitely something interesting. And I think the skin work also he done really well. Especially on the inner thighs, but I'm purposely not pointing out to those areas for, decency. But I mean, there's nothing decent about this model, is there? But it is very smooth, and it's very lovely. I very enjoy, and I think he's just going from strength to strength with his non-metallic metal work as well. I thought this was actually true metallic metal at one point, but it's actually non-metallic metal. That's something that he... Oh man, check out that stud. I think that's true metallic metal. Or maybe that's just how... That's... Wait, is it? When you can't tell, that's how you know someone's gone into legendary mode. But yeah, wonderful piece. Any further commentary from you, Decimus?
Not off the top of my head, but I would like to know if that is actually non-metallic metal, because that is
It looks so realistic.
banger.
I know. We'll have to just ask RJ from the Discord, eh? Okay. Fun fact, there used to be 6 eggs. Were there only 5? I didn't count. I'm sorry. Alright, we're moving on to our beloved Krisha. Another squad down, one more battle line unit to go, then special characters / vehicles / fun stuff. Alright, let's take a look. Well, Decimus, I think this is your time to shine, considering you're the Space Wolves fella. What do you think?
Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, I love this. I've never seen this folder marking before.
Yeah, they have different kinds of squad markings. I just normally go with the basic triangles.
Oh yeah, I really love this. This feels like razors stacked on top of each other. I really like it. I don't know what it means, but I like it. And there's, of course, oh, is this the start to finish? I wonder. Okay. We're going on a Chris Shaw adventure. Alright, so this is how they look. Oh, it's just a two. Oh, come on, man. You got me all excited. Okay, well, it's looking great, as per usual, Chris. I don't know what else to add. I think you might have touched up the hair a bit, because that, I really love what you've done there. I mean, that is beautiful. I mean, look at that. You got the nice shading lines going into, you can see the hair, the way that the lines move towards the scalp and then towards up into the ponytail. It really shows like the direction. And it's not that not much of it at all. It's just a little bit just to show directionality. I quite enjoy. That looks really good. That looks very good. Yeah, and we've mentioned about how we like the way that he's done the metallics on the Aquila, the gem, chipping and everything. I think at this point there's nothing new to add to this commentary. So this looks super clean, very consistent to everything else that we have seen him produce. He's just going, bam, 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 producing squad after squad at great quality. So well done, Chris. It's something to really be proud of. Alright, so who we have next? We have
So
Brian.
I like how he has them in like their. Oh, my bad.
It's okay. No, please. Please continue. I just pull it back up.
I was just going to say I like how he has them in like their 30K gray armor.
Yeah, the cold gray. I love that color scheme. It's really good. And I think the way that he's painted it here, because like if you've watched the Space Wolves design versus lore that we did, I did comment about how cartoonish it does look with that super bright red and super bright yellow, and of course the gray's got a blue undertone to it. It does look very sort of, it's very striking, right? It's very popping, but it does feel very kiddish. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I think especially with the original vibes of Warhammer, it fits. But I think with the evolution of the style, with how 40K has shifted towards the grimdark, it doesn't really fit anymore. But I think this doesn't look bad. I think it's still, the way that he's done it, it doesn't look like cartoony, if that makes sense. Maybe it's the gray. I don't know. Maybe it's the gray, the way that he's done the battle chipping or what. It just doesn't. It doesn't have that sort of that cartoony look. It's like a nice blend between the grimdark and the fun 80s vibe.
It's a nice change of pace because there's not that many Space Marine chapters that just have gray armor.
Right. The Grey Knights are actually just steel, aren't they?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Now we are moving on to Brian. Tried a paint scheme for my wolves today. It came out too glossy because of the black ink I used. Was a combination of airbrush and black makeup sponge. The wolf was wet blending. Need to do more blending next time. Okay, so just want to read through things again. Try the paint scheme. Okay. Oh, there's more being said. Tim Curry, Space Wolves, Space Sharks are great. Oh, Space Sharks are great. Well, the Carcharodons. Carcharodons does have quite a lot of purple in their scheme as well, right? I thought they were black and purple, actually. No, that's the Kraken. Something Kraken.
Carcharodons, they're black and gray.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Well, let's take a closer look here. Well, Decimus, I'd like your opinion starting off, and then I'll share my thoughts.
Let me enlarge the YouTube video.
Did he watch a YouTube video? Is that what you say?
Oh yeah, I'm on my laptop.
Oh,
I was just making
trying to get to
video
the
bigger.
Oh, fair enough. All right. Oh, good.
Yeah, it does seem a little glossy, but I do like the chips that he's added, especially on the left leg. That is the left leg, right?
Yeah,
I
when
was
you
in the
look at it
infantry. I
from
don't know
his
my left from rights
perspective.
either.
No, yeah, if you're looking at it from his perspective, yes, it's the left, but if it's from our perspective, it's considered right, but it is the left leg.
Yeah, I like the battle damage. It does look nice. It is
Mm-hmm.
a bit glossy.
I do see what he means by the gloss. I'm not necessarily unenthused by it or anything. Like, yeah, you can fix it with a matte varnish. But a satiny look is not the worst, I think. But I think most people enjoy a more matte finish now. It's the more the style. My concern is that this scheme is too monochromatic in like. Okay, I should not say it like that. The values are not differentiated enough. Like we've got, can't tell if it's black or if it's gray. It looks mostly like it was black primer. The only points of color I see here are the yellow and the brown, and even the brown is quite close to in terms of value with the dark. So I think you can still go ahead with this color scheme, but you might want to incorporate more of those yellows into accents somewhere else. I Let me see here.
Yeah, like the handle of the knife, make it the same color as what's tied around the sheath.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if there's still a whip or if it's finished. Because if it's finished, it needs a little bit more work on him. Like you could definitely do more with
I would
that.
say it's a whip.
Yeah. Yeah. So like you said, Decimus, like let's. I think just incorporating that brown a little bit more up into the tabard here, because I think this is actually part of that, if I'm not wrong. Like the
I
top.
think so.
Yeah. And then like a bit more shading, a little bit more like a mid brown going up to a lighter brown. Just needs a bit more contrast. Currently just looks quite incomplete, but great job on posting a mini and trying things out. All right, let's move on. We've got Liam. More work done on my eye of the Deep Mini. It's definitely getting there. Side note, this is only the third or fourth time I've painted the eyes, and only the first time I've done pupils. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, like that's looking a lot better, isn't it? Was looking very patchy before. That's come out real good. And that's a nice slit going on there. My only question is, Liam, because the eyes are the key of this model, would you be keen on trying doing those like sort of, those lines that you see in the iris but radiating outwards,
The blood vessels?
not the blood vessels, but let me just search human eye. Oh, nothing weird comes out. Okay, great. Like, do you see that? Okay. Images. Let's find a good eyeball. Here's a good eyeball. See those sort of like those little those little striations of different colors coming out of the eye? Like that.
Oh yeah.
They do that a lot with dragon eye. You can take a look at dragon eye. I spelled drag. Okay, great. I'm not saying that you gotta go super complex and like all these shapes, but something as simple as just like lots of lines, like how this guy's doing. This might be very complex, but just a little something, the markings and stuff might be fun to try. Because like it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to try something. Especially when you've got so
like
much area to play. Yeah.
Yeah, like with a white and a paler yellow.
Yeah. Like you could do like a mix of even this sort of brown orange color. Just mix it up with a little bit of a black to make it more brown, and then you have this yellow mixed with that brown. Then you got three tones there, right? You've got your dark, your medium, your light, and then of course this yellow mixed with white as your final in between. And L says that was actually unintentional. Interesting idea though. I was that something I said about this? Oh, this no. L, you are talking about the eye that we're talking about the eye. Yes. I'm always game for new ideas. Thanks, great. Okay, so I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same thing. All right, so other than that, I think you're progressing very nicely. I'm just taking a look here. Of course, I think it does need a little bit further cleanup of the mouth here. Teeth is looking quite nice. I'm not sure if you use white or off-white, but off-white would be a better choice for teeth. And maybe a little bit, a light wash of, I think it's Reiklin flesh. Or even Seraphim Sapia, just to really give that sort of beastly fang look without making the teeth look very clean, like he's got dental care or something, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But I think you're doing great. I think you're moving on. He looks very crabby, I will say. This looks very crabby. I like the crabby feeling. It's got a crabby feeling to him, so I think you're doing great on that front. But yeah.
Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs. I'm here to make more money. Or something like that.
Money.
Money. Something he loves to say. Oh boy. There we go. Updated on my albino termagant. I'm just thinking to myself. Technically, if it is an albino termagant, would the carapace should also be albino, right? I can see that he's tried to wash it down, like not make it so as bright as the rest. So I'm just trying to think about it, because I think skin-wise here, all this is great. But I'm thinking maybe he should have probably kept it white as well, because that's kind of the point of an albino creature.
Yeah, I would agree, because they have like no melanin anywhere, right?
Yeah, they've got zero pigmentation to the point that their eyes are also red or violet or something like that. So, yeah, like, I am wondering, even should the claws be an off-white, not even a black hoof, you know? Like more like a bone color? Yeah.
Maybe shades of gray to help differentiate words.
Differentiate.
To help differentiate it from the skin.
Yeah. But I think now might be too late for that commentary, because he's already finished it. But yeah, I think in future, if you would like to try another albino termagant or creature, I think just, play with light flesh tones and whites and different base shadow colors, moving up to the whites. And I think because they're not meant to have any sort of pigmentation, because that's the concept there. But that's good. I think overall it's good, but I think, are we talking about the concept? I think it did miss the mark a bit there. But it's just a good try.
I looked up pics of albino insects and crabs, and they do have some color to them.
Oh, do they? Let us take a look here. Albino insects.
I don't know, insects could be albino.
Oh, some of them are just like red and pink. Let's see here. Yeah, a little bit of some form of differentiator. But mostly like the creams, eh? I looked up pictures of albino insects and crabs, and they do have some color to them. Oh, I see. So that's what he said. Okay, alright. Like I suppose something like that. That butterfly's got a bit of that pale green. Oh, yeah, okay, I guess. Yeah. I do think, Jack, like, it would be a benefit. Like, take a look at this cockroach. White cockroach here. Like, it's just all one color, right? I would think that it would benefit from a bone, talon, and hoof compared to a black one. I think if you still want to go with that sort of light coloration here and there, I think with the carapace, all good. I think to really pull off the concept, this might do well in a bone bone color instead, like more creams. Other than that, great job, great mini. I'm just seeing if there's any sort of wash you could put to try and bring a bit of definition into the crevices a bit. Wonder what kind of wash you might, like a purple wash, like I mentioned earlier, might be good to just try and make it pop out a bit. Should I still try to wash it purple? Yeah, give it a try. I don't think it
Maybe
would
like
hurt.
a pale purple wash.
Yeah. I really don't think it would hurt. Like just a thin down one so that it's not too stark and you still maintain a lot of the white tones there. Other than that, I think it's great. Yeah. Let us move on to our next fella. We have Kit starting on Eric and got Helga 95% of the way there. Alright. Take a look here. That's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. Great start. You know, and this is a good whip. I think the oh wow. Very much liking the way that the colors are coming together. Mini is quite soft, isn't it? The sculpt. Just trying to think to myself. I think, Kit, you see what you've done here in the bandana? That nice light pink magenta going on. I would love to see you push like fabric folds to that degree. Like here, down here. I would like to see you try pushing those highlights a bit more on the very top of the folds. Especially in the crochet knitted sweater thing she's wearing. Because these are the points where you can really push those contrasts. I think you're very good at experimentation. But I think something that you could step up on is creating more contrast in your piece. And just having that much more punchiness to some of the things. So I think even here could be cleaned up a little bit more in the hair. But I do see the gold a bit better. Yeah, it just needs more shine as well. Like wherever the light's falling, you might want to focus more of the highest highlights coming into a bright yellow to a white to bring out that sort of old, like, you know, it's still a shiny material. What about you, Decimus? Any points?
I like the gold a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Maybe do a little bit more cleanup on the pink part of whatever she has on her shoulder.
This thing?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I think the blue also needs a bit more. I don't know what's happening. Maybe he's trying to put a lighter blue in that spot. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that's something I do notice a bit with your models, Kit, is that I think you might want to do second or third thin coats, because sometimes I do see a little bit of those whites coming through from little indentations of the models. But you know, this is good progress. I really particularly enjoyed this Shark Knight fella. He's looking pretty good. I like the way
the shark head makes me all giddy.
It's so cute. The little hood. Yeah. It's following the card art. It's like an old faded hood or something. Faded hood. Faded hood. I do wonder if you might want to mix this blue with a little bit of white and then stipple that with like a hog hair brush, just like a dry brush, sort of scratchy up that little part there, so it feels a bit more complete rather than just sort of, I don't know, because it looks like white. It reads white to me here, so that's my critique anyway. The gray/white on the hood is intentional simply based on the art. Sure, but it does look incomplete when we look at it straight on. Especially considering because some of the other parts here still have a lot of white showing through. That does confuse on whether or not that's intentional. So if you want that faded look, I think maybe you might want to fill in some more gaps with some of these other parts, bring up the contrast with the other parts, and then this will stand out and this will look like a faded cloth. But right now everything's sort of very cohesive to the point that it's very homogeneous, that this doesn't stand out as a faded cloth, if you understand what I'm saying there. All right. So we will be moving on. Oh, wait, did I miss a picture? Was that the next one? Oh, it is the next. Look at him. Okay. Squeezed in a bit more time on Eric. Made good progress on the shark coal and beard. And put down a base coat and bony bits. All right. I love the skin. The skin work, excellent. I love the little rosy nose. Eyes came out pretty good too. It's a nice little cute night guy with a shark on his head. Is this? Is this? No, there's still more to do. But I do like how the harpoon is coming. It does look like it's made of bone. Especially this little axe thing. That looks like bone as well. I'm just wondering to myself, have you painted the trim of the outfit yet, Kit? Because I'm trying to make out if it's like just still Xanathol Prime or if it's a silver, sorry, like a steel trims. I think the shark did come out quite nice. Thinking to myself, because sharks are also a little bit paler than this in the gray, aren't they? Decimus.
I think it depends on what kind of shark.
Take a look at sharks. There's sharky sharks. Shark.
So Kit said, nope, that comes next. It will be kind of a goldish leather.
Goldish leather. Yeah. It's like a nice sort of. And the underneath of the nose is often sort of white. Okay. See, yeah, I think that's something that you could do there, Kit. Just from this line below, do those sort of like a white or a pale. I would say a white, a very pale gray, and then you got little patches of white there, wet blender white. Around the, where is it? So like the underside here should be almost like this bone color that you have here, and then right in the very middle you can just have like a soft brushing of a white. So you've got like a fog gray there. You could mix like the rainfall blue with the fog gray and mix it to sort of match the same tone of gray that you've used here. And it just sort of blends all the way down. There's a clean line, but the line should be blurred, and then it goes to like a pale gray / white look. And I think then it really sells that sort of shark look, as you can see here. So that would be my commentary. Do you have anything to add, Decimus?
I don't know. I'm currently looking at sharks right now. Oh, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
No, because I agree with adding that white to the underneath the shark. So for that was just not a giant mass of gray.
Yeah.
Or rainfall blue.
I think I think so far the face is really good. I love how
the face is great.
I like how the eyes have turned out. It really does look like he's looking right at you. So that's very well done. Great direction.
I could feel that 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah, I know. So it's very good on that front. So you know what we always say: faces and bases make models look aces. Here we go. We shall be moving on to our Joseph Malone. It took about 18 months of playing, but I finally finished playing Aeon Trespass last weekend. That means I can sit down and only paint this weekend and hopefully finish these ladies off. Alright, okay, let's take a look. Man, doesn't she look sassy back there? Looking pretty good. I think he's even gone back, and last time we talked about how the skin wasn't coming. It was a bit patchy, so I think he's actually gone through and tried to fix that up. And it's looking a lot better now. And it's a little bit hard to say for the rest. Because we only have this one picture to work with. But you know, progress is progress. So that, I think if we have clearer pictures next time around, we can give a little bit more feedback. But I think what Joseph is trying to do is to show what he's done overall. Went out pretty good. I'm not sure if this lady is finished or not, but I think she could use the most amount of differentiator, especially with the staff here. The staff could be a different color. There's a lot of steel. I think that would be my only critique based off what I can see. I think things are coming out very nicely. I quite like this purple cape as well. Coming along pretty good. Alright. Who do we have next? Andy! Work from this evening. Making a start on Vespa from the game Moonstone. Ah! Also made use of some color shifting paints to do the iridescent effect on the wings. Still more to do on the rider especially. But it's a start. Take a look. I think, oh wow. Now I just gotta take a look at bee wings. Bee?
Ooh, those are some party wings.
I know. Let's take a look at bee wings for a second. So yeah, they're usually transparent, and I bet that they will shimmer in the light. Alright. Let's see if there's any other different angles of this, because I'm trying to figure out what is the base tone that was used, and then I think an iridescent paint was layered on top of that. For our... Oh, man. Look at that eyeball. The eyeball's so good. I really like how this is turning out. I think it does need a little bit more cleanup here, Andy. Like, I think something happened to his little knee there. Like, it does look a little patchy here and there. I think a little bit of cleanup will do you good. Maybe even doing a little bit more cold yellow highlights for the bee. But other than that, it's looking great. Like, I think as a learning point for next time around for wings, especially transparent wings on material that isn't transparent, like for example plastic, right? And you don't have like transparent plastic being used for the wings separately. What we did for the High Storm Vespids was do a very pale gray going up to a white xanthol to quote unquote mimic a transparent wing, and then we sprayed a pearlescent SMS paint, effects paint over the top to give an illusion of a transparent wing with a you know, color shifting look. I think that might be helpful for next time. I believe they also have the veins in black, so that might be beneficial to do for your next few steps, is to go over the top of those veins with the black. But this is a good start on this guy. I think pretty well done. What about you, Decimus? You've got anything you'd like to share?
Also, kind of like touch up right where that on the bee's head, where that antenna is, where you can still see some of that yellow poking through the black.
Mm-hmm. I do agree. A little bit of more cleanup. I do think even the clothes could use a little bit more, another layer or so. See, it feels a little bit patchy, like something underneath is kind of trying to show through. Oh, I think he's still painting up the chest. But like he said, it's a start, so he's gonna continue working on it for sure. But that's just a critique with the current progress. Alright. Moving on, moving on. We have RJ. More refining, more mooring. That's right. Oh, did I go somewhere else? Let me just... I think we did. Okay. Let me just open this up in a new tab. That popped up. Alright, okay. Got RJ. Oh boy. I mean, look. My only critique at this point is that the under chin shadow, that needs to look a little bit more like this, I think. This particular shadow color needs to come under that chin. Because right now it looks like his neck is blending into his face. But other than that, this is one of the best models RJ has produced with his Kingdom Death minis. And it's really showing. Yeah. Like if we take a look even at this angle, that doesn't quite look right. But look at the vein work. Oh my good lord.
He said that's not a shadow, it's a gap. The head
Oh, it's a
isn't glued down
gap.
yet.
Alright, okay. Oh, I see. It must be like a blue tack or something. Alright. Okay, in that case, forget everything said. Just gonna take a look at the cape here.
Well, I will say good job. I like the lantern in his hand. With no pot?
Yeah, the pot.
No, it's a pot.
It's a pot.
I thought it was a lantern.
It's a beautiful pot. Oh, but look at this, Decimus. That sheeny, shiny sheen. Oh, boy, oh boy. It's good. Alright. I'm just trying to take a look at the cloak here. Jay, is there anything in particular that you are looking to refine from here? Yeah, Kit says that looks fantastic. Yeah, I'm just gonna give you some time to answer because I'm just trying to think about things. Now, I do think that a sort of gray-toned cape is a good idea for a very colorful model such as he, because then it contrasts well. It doesn't take too much attention onto the the cape. It brings all the focus to the front, which is great, which is fabulous. A lot still, right? Are you putting this up for a competition? I think you are, right? Because it looks really, really good, and I know that you've been working on him for a while now, and you've been pushing on it very, very much so. Yeah, Elle say, hopping off to hit the hay. Good work as always, everyone. Thanks for hosting. Thank you, Elle, for joining us. We'll see you next week. All right.
Sleep tight.
All right. So, yes, I believe RJ confirms that this is for a competition. So we have to scrutinize this even further. I'm just trying to think about...
I'm too nice to scrutinize.
Well,
on the internet, at least.
We have to, because that's the real nice thing to do. Is to really scrutinize other people. That's what we gotta do. I'm just trying to think about this back here, if there's anything that we should be doing to further deepen any shadows of the such. I'm just thinking aloud. I'm just not sure if that's necessary, because I understand that this is a more sort of light colored creature, so naturally the shadows won't be so super deep. I don't know, my eyes just keep going there. I think perhaps it just needs a little bit of light shadowing right where the wrinkles are. Deepening of the shadow lines just a teeny tiny bit. I think even trying to do a little bit of cloth hatchwork highlights might be a good idea. Jay, just something subtle.
Just a few scritchy scratches on the quilt.
Yeah, just a little scratchy scratches, cross hatching or something. Something to bring a bit of texture to the piece. Because the cape is not the star of the show, but you look at it from this angle, you've put in a lot of work onto that axe. Like, that axe really brings your eye. And then the boots. But when you look at it in real life, you're looking at it from a top-down angle most times. That is going to take up a lot of attention as well, because it's just big. It's big. So I'm thinking we got to be able to balance having detail but not taking too much attention that the front side of the model is competing with the cape. Yeah. Sorry, I must have cut you off. You were about to say something, Decimus?
I was just going to talk about the axe a little bit. How,
Oh, yeah?
like, that's some real good work on the metallics. Yeah, that's a chunky boy.
Chunky boy. RJ, I think mayhaps you might consider even pushing as far into the blacks for the deepest shadow of the blade. It could just be the lighting, because I can see the light hitting it, and I might be, my eyes might be a bit wonk, but I think there's no harm like really pushing that shadow all the way into the blacks. I know Henry does that with the gold sometimes, like he'll just really push it, I want to redo the axe. Not really happy with the true metallic metal. I can see what you mean from this angle. The front angle I thought was pretty nice though. But yeah, like, I see that. You see that the axe on the front is like a different steel, like a more warm steel tone, and then the axe on the back is like a cold steel tone. It does confuse a little bit, but do you just want to like layer on top? Like, what do you refine it as is first? Yeah, maybe. I was like, you're so close. I would hate to see you like going in and redoing things. What would Henry say?
Some more, maybe add some more scratches on the cutting edge.
Oh yeah, maybe. Zat over there. Wow, like that. I don't know. I think I'm spending too much time. I always get mesmerized at RJ's work that I just confuse myself after. But yeah, I think this is looking good. I'm just wondering.
Since he's going for sunrise lighting, warm light one side, cold lighting the other.
Oh, is that what he says? Righto. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, alright. Yeah. Yeah, alright. Then that makes sense. Sunlit. Warm lighting. Be a bit too late. Okay, I'm just thinking about it, RJ. Because for most of your mini, you don't really have that much warm lighting coming into literally anything but the pot. The pot feels very warm, but that's also because of the color. But you see everywhere else that you have done your ambient lighting is mostly like white overcast light, which is correct actually, because you've set him in like a snowy area. So the snowy area is the light's gonna bounce off the snow, and it's gonna be very sort of like white cast, overcast lighting. So it's not wrong, but it doesn't really look like a warm lit light from the front. Do you think it looks warm, Decimus? You can disagree with me, obviously.
See some warmth, but maybe like for the back side of the snow, maybe add some cool blues to it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. I don't think dark side has enough cools to give other side warmth. Yeah, I think you're right. I think Decimus is right. I think you are right. I think it needs a bit more cool tones towards the back to really contrast the front. But this is good. This is very, very good. And I don't want to give advice that will make you redo something and then you hate it after you change it. That's the thing. Because, like, at this point, it's very precarious. Okay? Like, you overwork the piece and then it just falls apart. So, I'm just like, trying to be very careful. Being very careful. Like, I don't know what to say. Sort of thing. Yes, base definitely needs more work also. It's all satisfying. Yeah. Henry blames me all the time too, so there we go. It's all Sunny's fault. Okay. But we shall move along then. We shall move along. But very well done so far. But man, look at this. Machi Nation, sharing my last project before our big move. Now, Machi will not be able to talk too much about this piece because technically it's Throwback Thursday. So we will appreciate and move on. But man, look at this. Oh gosh.
Yeah, that Metal Gear is awesome.
Fudge. I love the blue shade. Oh, la, 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 la. There's a picture I sent Scott Stinger in a previous post, and this looks like it. This looks like, man, I love the lighting of the blue with so it's sort of like a backlit, I think. Yeah, backlit is like a warm, or maybe this is blue light and this is red light. You can see that dual tone look there. The blue light reflection, red light reflection. Beautiful. But I do wonder if this is meant to be a power sword, like if this is like boosting up, because it's particularly brighter than the rest of the piece. I think for an improvement point of view.
I remember correctly, I think that's like a railgun.
Railgun. Thinky think. Yeah, I think maybe it's just too bright up at the front here. Maybe it just needs a bit more blue. But like, look, it's a finished piece. It's beautiful. Who cares? But I just thought maybe, there might be too bright for how blue cast everything is. Railgun charge slot. Okay. This is a beautiful piece. Very beautiful. Oh, look at the red, the purple. What I really love is that right there. A little like sort of lighting situation inside and here. That's so good. Lol rumble. Okay, like
if only it had like a little figurine of Liquid Snake standing on top of the head of it.
I don't know what a Liquid Snakes is. Maybe I should. If I look it up, will there be naughty pictures?
No, it's it's from Metal Gear Solid, the first game. You play as a dude named Solid Snake, and Liquid Snake is his brother.
Gear Solid. Let's see. Oh, just a fella? Just a fella.
Yeah, it's just a fella.
Yeah, I think, yeah. It would make sense to have, like, just some guy standing on top of this thing. Ooh. Okay. Appreciation over. Very beautiful. Oh. Such a beautiful lighting. So is this meant to be like steel? Like is it actually all steel or is it like a black? Because this is a very mood piece. Like he's trying to do a lot of environmental lighting look with this.
I think Metal Gear Rex is all steel.
Metal Gear Rex.
I think.
Take a look at him. Yeah, so it's like... some of it's like mostly black or like a very deep gray. Others is like a steely. Aha! I see the charge. I see the charging in between the little bolty bolts. I think what would be brilliant is if you used those really fine copper wires and did that inside the little bit of OSL effect. That would really push this piece next level. But I spend enough time. We are moving along, and we have our final piece for the day. Larry did some dry brushing to get some highlights on the lizard skin. First jade green, then a mix of jade and Sherwood. Quite subtle, not sure if it's okay, but then I'm not trying to do a real lizard skin. A little ivory on the teeth and a touch of white on the raised edges of the jacket. Then some wet effects in the mouth and tongue area. A little touch on part of the back water before I start doing anything to add water inside the hole. Alrighto. I think he's looking great. I really like this sort of jade green look for the skin. It looks very much like almost like a reptilian snake vibe. I think it adds to the unnaturalness of the fact that he's mutated, but doesn't it takes enough attention that the sewer water doesn't fight with it, which is great. I think maybe you might want to consider painting the toenails there. Maybe just regular off-white. What is the lizard, guys? What is he called? What is his name again? Lizard Man? Lizard Man. Spider-Man? He's from Spider-Man, is he? Not. That is this one, right? Ew. And I forgot how he used to look in the CGI. Ooh. Bit much for me. Now that looks great. I think it's because he's bald. Not because he's bald. I think it's because he doesn't have the little eyebrow thing. I don't know, something's wrong with this face. Oh yeah, okay. I think I see what it is. Yeah, so it looks so it has that magical look about it, right? Because he's transformed by the serum. But it is good. It's great. I think I love the yellow eyes. It's all coming out real nice. I especially really love the pants. Like, he's worked really hard to make the burgundy pants really defined and come through like I can feel the denim of the jeans just looking at it. I think that's well done. Oh yeah, so I was looking there because I was trying to figure out what color the claws were. Just take a look at this. Yeah, it's like a sort of a some of it is like a white gray bony color. Yeah, okay. Sometimes I think it's like a dark green, like an extension of the body. Yeah, alright. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I think you might want to darken that then. Like a thin wash of black Templar contrast. Just over the nails to differentiate it a bit. Other than that, I think this is looking really great, Larry. Very well done. I do wonder if this is intentional. Yeah, I think that's like the seams in the lab coat. See the water effects. I'm just thinking, maybe just a dotting of that nice, beautiful green, that lightest green that you have just under the eyes, wherever the light catches, just to really show the bring out the bumpiness of the skin. At least just in the face, because it's the focal point. But that's my only critique. What about you guys? What do you think? Kooper's from the 90s Mario movie? The lizard? That's what it is. It's called a lizard. Time for stupid
The
word
90s Mario movie is not real.
Well, see ya, Ajay. Thank you for coming on. But yeah, I think, yeah, okay, Larry, you might even, if you are up for it, you might even try doing a little slit in the eye. If you're up for it, you don't have to, but I see that you've put in a lot of work, and I just think it just needs that extra push. It just needs a little something extra, and it just needs, I think, just a little touchy touch of the highlights where the you can see like right there where the light touches, just with the light green, just here and there, just to bring out the texture of the skin. I think you're good to go. What do you think, Decimus? What are you like? Look, take a look at that. Look at all
Well,
the skin.
so I would say maybe like a pen wash with a dark green oil, but I don't know how deep those scales are, and if like you go to rub it off with the mineral spirits, it'll just come right out.
Hmm. Ah, when I use the mineral spirits over acrylic paints, it doesn't seem to much. Doesn't really come off, so I think he should be okay.
No, I meant like whenever you put the oil
Oh,
into the
the
cracks of the scales and you go to wipe off where you accidentally touched the model where you didn't want to,
oh yeah,
if that oil paint will just come right back out.
I understand. I think if he keeps it really just on the surface, he should be able to get away with it. Like right here, I can tell that it's pretty deep. But when you come over here, you're right, because like that's quite shallow. But over here is pretty nice and recessed. Here is quite shallow. I don't know. Well, Larry, that's a your call thing, you know. That's our feedback for that. But other than that, I mean, he's looking so good. He's coming out so well. Especially the sewer water. I love the sewer water. Very nice. Okay. Well, that's it that we have for today. Thank you everyone for joining us every week and sharing with us your wonderful posts. And you can take a look at such a variety of people and concept and artwork that we have here. Each one is so very unique. And that's what makes WAYPN special, I think, because you just have every single type of painter, every single type of model, and these crazy paints, crazy materials being used all the time, and everyone gets to learn from each other. And that's all thanks to everyone who participates and everyone who comes on every Friday for the live streams to share with us your thoughts. And with that said, I think we will say goodbye. And as always, keep those
Keep those
brushes wet.
brushes wet.
Bye bye. Okay, how do I
Bye.
turn this thing off?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I think here. Okay, I think I did it. Hooray!